It's a very, very lovely morning this Saturday, the 18th of June 2022, and we welcome you to this program that gives you nothing but the best of Zambian football. We have a lot of transfer rumors going around. We have the ladies tournament, the ladies team that is already in Morocco, and they have a friendly match this evening, and we'll talk more about all those things. And this morning, I am your host, Rabson Skombe, who's going to be with you throughout the show, and in the absence of Juan Amos, who's somewhere around the studio trying to do what he knows how to do best. And this morning I'm not alone in the studio. I'm joined by our very own two gentlemen that have been with us in my absence. I've been away for a bit, and it's always good to be back. Andrew, welcome to the show this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Rabson. You look fresh.
Of course, I was on some short vacation away from Augustine, who was always criticizing me when Kanalo says, good morning, Augustine, and welcome to the show this morning.
Thank you very much, Uncle Rabson. We return all the glory and honor to the Most High God. Good morning to all our viewers out there. It's always a pleasure to be in your presence, and massive congratulations to Elijah. He's no longer a bachelor.
Oh, our very own Elijah.
He has left the group, and it seems like I'm the admin now.
All right. We'll take a very, very short break, and when we come back on the other side, we'll get into the details of the nitty-gritties of what we've already discussed this morning and the headings that we've mentioned. We'll dig deeper and get into that and share nothing but the best of what has been transpiring in the Zambian football fraternity. We'll take a very short break, and we'll be right back.
On Monday, 20th June 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts Honorable Elvis Nkandu, Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts. Don't miss as they discuss UPND 10 months of being in power.
As government through the ministry, we have demanded for a report from the service provider, and we need a refund and underline, because as we are not restive, and the payment for expenses suffered.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, and text messages.
On TSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98, and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the show that gives you nothing but the best of Zambian football, as well as continental football. That also includes sometimes intercontinental football, as we always call it when it comes to the European side of things. But this morning, our attention, first things first. Those of us who are tuned in to TV and you are glued to your screens, please feel free to also follow us on Facebook, Camnet TV, and like the page. You'll be able to catch us live there. You can give us your questions there, your contributions there. We should be able to probably time permitting, discuss all of them and share with the rest of the viewers that are following us live on this particular channel. This morning, gentlemen, a very quick look at the friendly that Zambia national women's soccer team is having as they prepare for the Africa Cup of Nations, where they are facing Morocco. Let's begin by looking at the squad that has traveled with the coach, Coach Bruce, for this particular tournament, and the offer that the government has actually pledged to the ladies out there that are there to make our country proud. In the absence of the men's national team that has been absent at this continental showpiece for a bit. Your views, gentlemen. I'll start with you, Augustine.
Yeah, it's interesting that the women's team has been offered the good sums of money by the Football Association of Zambia. It's something that we have been crying about in terms of trying to see Zambian football, especially in the women's sense, develop, because it has to be at least a level playing field with the men, because those ladies are taking this as their professional career and they have to be rewarded handsomely like they have done. The government, I think credit must go to the Football Association of Zambia for making everything possible for the ladies. The league is improving, the national team is improving, and I just urge the fans out there to always not just support the national team when they're playing, but they can go as low as supporting them when they're playing in their respective leagues, because our league has become very, very attractive. We've seen Zanaco come up with a women's team. They never had that. We've seen ZESCO United have got a very, very strong women's team. GBFC Red Arrows, Nkana likewise. So you can see that women's football is growing, and now you can see the talent that has gone to the Africa Cup of Nations. There have been a lot of cries with players that have been left out. Decisions have been made. We have to stand by them. Bruce Mwape, some decisions are beyond him. It's not his call, but he had to leave probably some of his best players because of CAF regulations, which we cannot go deep into the regulations that CAF have set. But you look at the players that have gone, I think that should be our focus and our concentration. Barbara Banda will always be our talisman. She's the one who is going to lead the attack. She's the one who we expect to get goals. You look at Grace Chanda, the goal at Dangote, very, very prolific in front of goal. She left Red Arrows, now she's playing her trade outside Zambia. The difference from the first time we qualified at the Africa Cup of Nations, which was played in Namibia, and now is that we have got a lot of foreign-based players in our team. You look at our goalkeeper Hezonale, she's playing her trade in Turkey. We have got Margaret Bulem, who is playing in China together with Barbara Banda, Grace Chanda. We've got a lot of good players now that have moved on and are playing at the highest level of women's football. You look at young promising talents like Evelyn Katongo, very, very exciting young lady, someone who you praised when she was at the Olympics. She's a very, very good young girl. She's very, very fearless. She can make things happen on her own. And another young, interesting player in the team that has traveled to the Women's Africa Cup is One Maweta. Very, very good winger, Maweta. She's traveled. She plays for Busa Academy. You can see that some academies in Zambia, they are investing rightly, and they have now produced players at the national team level. Same regards with the captain Esther from Busa. She's part of the team as well. We expect to see the Chipolopolo playing a decent game of football at the Africa Cup of Nations, because we have a lot of experienced players like Martha Tembo. She's been around so long. We've got Mary Wilombe. She's been part of the squad as well. So all in all, from the team that traveled, I feel we picked the best players that were available at the moment, and we just hope that they do well at the Africa Cup.
Andrew, coming to you, look at what the government has done in conjunction with the Football Association of Zambia. Group stages, the winning bonus has been paid at $3,000 per player per game in the group stages. The quarter-final winning bonus is at $3,500 per player for getting through to the quarter-final. The semi-final winning bonus has been put at $4,000 per player, and the final winning bonus when they get there and they actually bring the trophy back home has been put at $5,000 United States dollars. To sum it up, 360,000 kwacha per player, per game, per tournament.
Robson, that's a very interesting information. I want to make mention that the national team has the Chipolopolo. They have really struggled for some time now. The fact that They have been encouraged. They have been given that confidence. I think it's really, really very important. The government has really done, the FAS also, they have really done a very good job. That's very, very interesting. It really gives more confidence to the Chipolopolo, and we believe that today, now that they are also playing a friendly and with the host there, we believe that as they'll be playing there, they will definitely come up with some results, because at the end of the day, looking at the sum of the money which has been pumped in, as Kango had put it, look, we have some skilled players who are coming, playing from international games or clubs. Otherwise, that's very encouraging, and we are hoping that by the government doing so, upwarding their bonuses, that's really encouraging.
Well, we can only wish the ladies all the best. Let's look at the friendly that they have against Morocco this evening in preparation for the upcoming tournament. What are the chances that the ladies have against the host nation in tonight's friendly game?
Very, very tricky encounter against the host Morocco, but I feel it's a very, very good preparatory friendly for the Chipolopolo boys, girls, as they go into
very difficult to adapt to the name.
Yeah, I think to me we are very
especially where we are coming from back-to-back games where it was just Chipolopolo throughout.
So the Chipolopolo, they're going into a game against Morocco. Morocco, they haven't really done much in terms of women's football on the African continent, but them being the hosts, I think to me they have tried and improve their team. They have tried to improve their league. It's at this point where you can see that African women's football is just now growing. It's just not Zambia which were left behind, but it's many countries, even the likes of Morocco. They have done nothing really on the international stage when it comes to women's football. We always associate these big tournaments with the likes of South Africa, Nigeria, Cameroon. Those are the top teams in the African sense. And if you look at the friendly, it will have a lot of significance because our group is comprised of Tunisia, Cameroon, and Togo. So we are playing a North African opposition in Morocco to try and have a feel and taste of what we are expecting from the likes of Tunisia. And if you look at our group going into the tournament, Tunisia, they have only qualified once at the Africa Cup of Nations. This is their second time. You look at Togo, this is their first appearance at the Africa Cup of Nations. And Zambia has qualified twice, and this will be our third appearance. We are closer to Cameroon. I think, to me, if we have to be realistic, we are probably the second favorites in the group. So we are coming up in this friendly against Morocco. It's a test to try and see how far we can go with Tunisia, who probably will be our direct rivals for that slot to qualify into the semi-finals and qualify to the New Zealand World Cup, which will be very, very big boost for the Chipolopolo if we manage it. Going into the game, Barbara Banda is in. We have been complaining that she hasn't been featuring in friendlies. This is now a good opportunity for the coach to try and balance up the team, because Barbara is in, all the players are in. We have got a chance to prepare as a group as we go into the crucial Africa Cup of Nations games against Togo, Cameroon, and Tunisia. Morocco will give us a very, very good test, being the home nation. They will have a crowd behind them. It will be a good test for the ladies. They cannot be intimidated. They were at the Olympics. They have faced tougher tasks than this one. This will just be a stepping stone in what we have to achieve in the near future. It will be a very, very good preparation.
Your prediction, Andrew, in this friendly encounter this evening?
Wow, it will be a tough encounter. It will be a very tough encounter. I'm taking it on a draw.
Wow.
1-1.
Great. That just sums up our discussions on the ladies. And if you have any contributions towards the games the game that is happening tonight against Morocco, please feel free to call us and give us your contribution towards that game and just how you feel the ladies are preparing for the Africa Cup of Nations. For now, we switch our focus to the 4 teams that qualified from the provincial leagues into the Eden National Division 1. We have Mtondo Stars, who are representing Copper Belt. We have Riflemen, who are representing Lusaka. We have Mpulungu Haba, who are representing the northern side of Zambia. And last but not the least, Aguila Stars, who are representing Central Province. The 4 teams have actually made it to the Eden National University as first-year students. Gentlemen, very, 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 very ups and downs that we witnessed last week. From the day the tournament started to the end. We've seen a lot of ups and downs. We've seen teams like Mtondo Stars that came into Lusaka many days before the actual tournament started. You could see the seriousness in how the administrators were putting in that tournament, and the outcome of the result clearly shows how organized the administration is. They never conceded a goal in all their 4 games.
And just to sum it up, if you look at the entire playoffs, the way they are played, you can see the difference in quality in the 10 provinces. There's a very big difference in the quality with Copper Belt teams and Lusaka-based teams with the rest. Exactly, there's a very big gap. Even a Blue Arrows, which was coming from Livingstone, a lot was expected from them, but they came here and they wouldn't perform. They wouldn't come to the party. And Mitondo Stars, I think to me, they have been very good, very organized. Being coached by Zetsai Leti, he's led the team back into, he's gotten the team promoted to the Eden University.
And we call them young Kana.
Yes, they are young Kana, yes, declared interest. Yeah, so you would see this team, I think to me, they are fearless. They have got young, exciting players who are coming to this peak stage now to play in the National League. Others, if they are some scout who watched what they were doing in the playoffs, probably would snatch him for the Premier League teams. They are very good, very organized, they're fearless, they play attacking football, they are scoring for fun, their defense is watertight. Aguila, another team which is very interesting, they play very good football. I know a couple of youngsters who play for Aguila. Makundika Sakala, he's done a very good job at Aguila. We're talking about the next generation of Zambian coaches, top coaches. He will be up there in the next 3, 4, 5 years. Makundika Sakala is growing up. He's learning the stages very well, and he's brought a team now into the National League. It's not going to be very easy for them. It's going to be very tough. I really expected a lot from Blue Arrows, but the group that they were in, it was always going to be very tough in that group. That's why we saw Aguila and Mitondo qualify from. And another team that was very disappointing, I must say, was Unaconde. Them being a team which had played in the Premier League, you would have expected them to try and win promotion into the National League, but it wasn't to happen. Right?
Well, they are the same team that beat Mansa Wanderers by 9 goals to 0.
But what did they achieve at the end of the race?
Of course, they missed out on the qualifications, but I think the biggest mistake was the game they lost 1-0. I think that's what brought them down. But generally, they recovered, they picked up their pieces and went on to humble Mansa Wanderers by 9 goals to 0.
Mansa Wanderers.
Oh, by the way, my interest in Rio Nakonde, that's where my hometown is.
Yeah, I know. That's why you're defending. Mansa Wanderers were a pure joke in these playoffs. I think to me, you could see the difference. If we would have said, let's take a team from Lusaka which finished 2nd or 3rd, even 8th, they wouldn't have performed as bad as Mansa Wanderers did.
Well, I think for Mansa Wanderers,
I also believe.
Okay, go ahead.
I also believe Mpulungu Habas.
Yeah,
they are doing a good job. Yeah, I know you are. With me, I've been not really following them, but with the results, yeah, I think they are doing a good job where striking force is concerned, and also looking at the way they are organized. I think it can be also one of the tough team amongst the team.
Mpulungu Haba coming back into the National League, they have to do a very big job in terms of recruitment, because they do not have a lot of quality players in their side. They do have a very good starting 11, which if it doesn't work with the first 11, then it all crumbles. So they need to try and improve. I think to me, Angorapson, you've been deep with National League, you're with NAPSA last season, and you saw how tough it is. They are coming into a league which is probably even more difficult than the Super League, because the playing surface is not good, the officiating is pathetic, and
you do not have... is very good. It's only a few that are pathetic.
No, there are a lot of provinces where you travel to and you have to sweat for the victory. Officiating is pathetic in the National League. Let's be honest.
Or something.
Yeah, if you look at the quality of the information that you have for positions, that it's next to 0. That's the most reason why this league is very difficult. They need to prepare very well going into the National League, but it's very attractive league. We saw a lot of good young players last season who probably will play in the Super League this season from the Eden League. It's a very interesting league. Riflemen, you always expected them to get promotion because they have got players who played in the Super League from Green Buffaloes. they are very, very well organized, and that's where they deserve. They belong, not in the.
I think we have to give a benefit of doubt to the Kaole boys, Mansa Wanderers. They were not the champions of Luapula province. They were second on the log. The other team should have come through. Sponsorship took them off, and last minute call, Mansa Wanderers was told you have to go and represent the province at the playoffs. So they were rounding up players that I had a short interview with a few friends who came with a squad from Mansa, and it was very, very, very difficult for them to actually make the team to come here.
Yeah.
Because they were picking players along the way. One of their last players was actually picked in Cabo to come and form a team here. And they were on a break, complete break. They were told to join the team, I think, 3 days before the playoffs started. That is where the biggest problem was. But Mansa Wanderers, try better next time.
That's a very good point. I would agree, because it was on short notice and the players had already switched off, but they wouldn't come and give such poor performances. That's not acceptable. A football player can come, okay, regardless of off-season or whatever. If you would have gotten Atletico Lusaka and then played in those playoffs, they wouldn't have been beaten like that. So I think they need to try and take responsibility, them players, with what their application on the field of play. And I really have a problem with the way these playoffs are set up, because players do not have time to recover. They do not have time for preparation. They play within 24 hours you play a game, and then the next 24 hours, where's the time for recovery? Where's the time for the coaches to go back to the training field and work on different aspects to try and get the results right in the next game? I think Football Association of Zambia can try and strategize the way they structure these playoffs in the near future, try and make it a little bit better and conducive for the players and for the team.
For the first time, the southern province of Zambia will not be represented in the Eden National Division. Very, very disappointing, I must say. Blue Arrows were the chance that they had to keep the team afloat in the National Eden Division 1. But suffice to say, you've spoken a lot about Blue Arrows and the chances they had. They were in a very, very tough group, and they couldn't do anything other than bow out with a lot of respect for them. And now, those 4 teams that you are seeing there, Mutondo Stars, Riflemen, Aguira, and Mpulungu Haba, have made it to the Eden National Division 1 as first-year students. Let's look at the trips that these Division 1 teams will be making across the country. Look at somebody who's coming from Northwestern Province, driving all the way to Mpulungu Haba. This is one of the toughest calls. Imagine you're having a game on a Saturday, you have to leave on a Wednesday. Drive all the way 2-3 days, you get there, you rest, you play soccer, start off on Sunday. If you have a midweek game, I can assure you that
it becomes very difficult.
So from Mpulungu Haba, I think they will have a very, very slight advantage when they're having their home games.
It's fortress because they have got a very huge crowd which follows in Mpulungu Haba. So teams going that side, I can assure you they'll drop points in Mpulungu Haba. It's one area where Mpulungu Haba can utilize to try and stay up in the league, because away from home they'll also struggle. They will not get a lot of points away from home.
Also, I believe that it's a test. You know, before you go to the Premier League, you need to go through some tests,
which are in the Eden University.
Some assignments before you write tests,
of course,
from the university. Okay, gentlemen, for now, we are switching our focus once again to something that has been going on, the international transfers. Let's look at Miguel, all the way from Shamiel, was on loan to Atletico. Now he's found himself at Young Boys. Let's look at the international transfers. What are the prospects that this defender come midfielder is going to get out of that move to the Swiss Giants Young Boys?
Brilliant young footballer, Miguel Changa Chaiwa. The father, Changa Chaiwa used to play in the Zambian Super League. He's a very, very talented young lad. He can play as a centre back. He can play as a holding midfielder. You can see him play as a number 8. I saw him in a game, Airport Warriors versus Shameo. He was playing as a number 10. He's very, very talented. He's very good on the ball. He's aggressive. He works very, very hard. Miguel Chaiwa, and he has earned a very, very big move to Young Boys of Switzerland. They'll be participating in the Europa League. Was it last season when they played Manchester United and beat Manchester United in the UEFA Champions League? So he has gone to a very, very high-profile team, which saw the likes of Emmanuel Mayuka used to play for Young Boys, and young Miguel Chaiwa. He was rumored to closing in a move to Salzburg, which didn't materialize for whatever reason. He has now moved to Swiss Giants in Young Boys. They have won about 15 league titles. He's settling in very well. Miguel Chaiwa is a very, very intelligent young boy. A lot of people were questioning why is this boy being part of the national team. Now they see the reason. This boy has got a lot of talent and potential.
We'll discuss that.
Exactly. He will grow to be one of the top players in Zambian football, Miguel Chaiwa. He's very good on the ball. His distribution is second to none. He's very, very intelligent. You saw him in the game against Iraqi when he featured for the Chipolopolo boys. He stood his own in a very high pressure game against an Iraqi, a debut for a young lad. He did very well, and I expect Miguel to grow into a very top player in the Swiss league. He might not go straight into the main team. Maybe he will try and he will be playing some reserve games because he's just about turning 18, the under-17 captain of the Chipolopolo. But this is a young lad who, in the near future, will see him playing for big teams in Europe.
Already, Young Boys is a big team.
Even bigger than Young Boys.
They already that's an exposure.
They tossed by Manchester United, left, right, and centre. And
with Ronaldo in.
Of course. And let's not take away anything from Young Boys. One of the biggest squads in Europe have taken our very own Miguel Chaiwa, who's going to be playing straight there starting this coming season. And now, let's look at Klings Kangwa. We have Klings Kangwa as well. We have Moses Piri. Quite a number of lads have made some international transfers. We've got Sirio Monyachwe, who's joined Zesco United. We've got a couple of players who have also made a lot of movements locally in the league. We have seen the Konkola Blades goalkeeper joining Power Dynamos. We have seen the Konkola Blades captain himself, I think, is going to Power Dynamos as well. And very interesting transfers, I must say. And when you look at the outcome of these transfers, let's begin by looking at the move that Moses Piri has made into Simba FC and Laliwa moving from Simba into South Africa.
What we can learn from Moses Piri is a move from Zanaco to Simba is that our administrators are doing a very, very wrong job when it comes to when it comes to dealing with footballers. Moses Piri was rumored to be closing in a move to Simba. That was midway last season. Moses Piri went to Zanaco and said, this is what Simba have offered. Can you try and match this or try and counter what Simba have offered? Zanaco didn't do anything and they let his contract run out. How do you let a player of Moses Piri's caliber contract reach to this stage where he just walks out for free? I think to me the way the administrators are doing it, it leaves much to be desired because you've invested in Moses Piri. How long
maybe Moses Piri is the same as Lazarus Kambole. Kaizer Chiefs also let his contract run out and he's a free agent.
He didn't do nothing.
Has joined Yanga.
Lazarus Kambole did nothing at Kaizer Chiefs. Moses Piri has been keeping.
That is where I'm going.
Moses Piri has been banging in goals for Zanaco. He was top scorer the previous season before Ricky Banda won it, and he was behind with is it 2 goals from Ricky Banda for this season's top scorers award. If Moses Piri didn't score the 15 goals he scored for Zanaco, Zanaco would be in relegation by now. So you can see how important this guy was to Zanaco and how difficult it will be for them to replace Moses Piri. They have been rumored to Christian Saili of Changa Rangers. He's being rumored maybe he might be the guy they might turn to, but is he the quality of Moses Piri? I don't think so. We saw a Pedro Miguel come from Trident with a lot of hype. What has he done in the Super League? Next to zero.
But has he been given a chance?
He's played. He hasn't been impressing even in training. How should be given him a chance in the big league? So you can see now the biggest problem is that instead Zanaco getting something from Moses transfer, he's just going for free because at the point where a contract reaches 1 year, the agent will be in the ears of the player saying, "Don't sign, don't sign." We have a big share of the cake when the contract runs out, and this is what happens. He's moving to Simba 2-year contract. Simba have seen the value to bring Moses Piri because they have parted company with Medica Gere and Crispin Kopamugalu. So Moses Piri is going to be a direct replacement for those 2 big strikers who they have lost during this period. I don't know what's your take with Moses Piri moving to Simba.
No, as you have said, it's very important because what is important to start with, it's exposure. you know, we are very proud of, you know, the football fraternity in our country. There's a lot of improvement. If you remember some time back, we only had few people who could go out of the country, then here and there. But now we are delighted that we have a lot of, you know, players, you know, being exposed, and that also brings a lot of fruitful in our football team.
Yeah, and if you can see the Rally Warrior, that would be a very, very big move to Amazulu. Amazulu have let go of Augustine Mulenga because of injury, and okay, it's something which he wasn't really let go because of injury. Augustine Mulenga, he was let go by Amazulu, but I feel the player is frustrated the way he has been let go because he has got an injury, and where will he move to because he's injured at the moment. I
was actually coming to that. You know, sometimes these organizations that we work for, when you are sick and they don't retire you, it's very, very unfortunate. And for Amazulu to let go of Augustine Mulenga, who got injured while he's playing for them, is quite unacceptable. And I think, all things being equal, players need unions.
Exactly. And this is when now we need to see these unions coming in and representing these players very well. Because he's been injured, how do you transfer a player who is injured? Where does he find the club? Because he has to undergo medicals for him to sign a new contract. And if you see what he has done during his time at Amazulu, he's done fantastic. Augustine Mulenga has been one of our outstanding players in the PSL. Ben McCarthy was always that time-to guy. He was always rely on Augustine Mulenga. But now it seems that Amazulu are closing in on Rally Warrior. Rally Warrior is close to joining Amazulu after playing a couple of years at Simba. Razalas Kambore has joined Simba rivals in Yanga. Interesting to see what happens when they meet in the derby with Cletus Chamachota and Moses Piri. The funny part is that now we are sending players to Tanzania, and Tanzania are the direct rivals for the first loss that we are looking at in terms of continental places. We are making their league stronger. Our players are leaving for big money because our Zambian clubs cannot match the money that these guys are being offering. And another interesting transfer was Clins Kangwa to Red Star Belgrade. Arsenal Tula got relegated. He was by far their best player of the season, and he was voted their player of the season. He was very, very instrumental, Clins Kangwa, for Arsenal Tula. His distribution, his energy, his work rate. He used to get into good areas, create for the team. Probably we'll see even Evans Kangwa might not stay at Arsenal Tula. His move to Red Star Belgrade, it's a different ball game going into Serbia. Red Star Belgrade are a very, very big side. Their closest rivals, Partizan Belgrade, is one of the biggest rivals in European football, and Clins will have a taste of that encounter. Red Star are a household team when it comes to playing in the Champions League. These guys always play in the Champions League, and it's going to be very, very good for Clins Kangwa to be playing in the biggest tournaments in club football.
Very quickly, let's look at Kansanshi Dynamos. In the course of the week, they let go of 4 of their players, and the preparations are beginning to start, and they are hotting up. We are seeing clubs in Zambia making a lot of sniffy movements into the players, trying to sign the best players that they can. But let's look at the 4 players that Kansanshi Dynamos got rid of. Could that be the beginning of the best things to happen where Boyd is concerned in the preparations for the next season?
You think so? You think so? Because what Boyd is trying to do now is trying to construct his own team, to have his own blueprint on the team, his own identity. We saw that with probably Chisimbe, we went on to win the league with Red Arrows. This is what Boyd is trying to do. There are players who he feels he cannot work with at Kansanshi Dynamos, which was Kasashi Lupia was one of the players who was let go. I think to me, Kasashi Lupia, to be honest, is one of those young players when they were coming through at ZESCO United. I thought will have a very, very big future in Zambian football and will play a very big role, but he has been very, very disappointing.
Player management.
He's been given a lot of chance at Kansanshi Dynamos. He comes in as a super sub, but he's done nothing. Enoch, I think, is it Enoch Chigwere? That was one of the most surprising players who have been released by Kansanshi Dynamos. There are rumors that even Daniel Chama, he might be leaving for Green Buffaloes. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how that pans out. They extended the long stay for Bruce Msakanya, Kansanshi Dynamos. So you can see they are trying to do their business as early as possible before they get deep into pre-season, so that they have all the players, all their targets in, and those that do not want to stay, or those that will not be the part of the plan of the coach to move on while time is still there so that they can prepare for the coming season.
We will take a very, very short break, and on the other side, we'll turn our focus to the league leaders, the league champions of Zambian football, that is Red Arrows Football Club. We'll focus on their player transfers and player movements. I've seen a couple of high-profile players being rumored to be leaving the club, whilst at the same time we are hoping that the team prepares very strongly for the continental football that they'll be representing the country in. We'll take a very short break and we'll be right back to discuss more on that.
On Monday, 20th June 2022, on National Matters, join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts Honorable Elvis Nkandu, Minister of Youth, Sport and Arts. Don't miss as they discuss UPND 10 months of being in power.
As government through the ministry, we have demanded for a report from the service provider, and we need a refund and underline, because as we are not wasted, and payment for expenses suffered.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages.
On TSTV channel 274, GoTV channel 98 and Topstar channel 106.
Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back to the last segment of our show, where we will look at our focus will go to Red Arrows. Red Arrows being the representatives in the CAF Confederations Cup. Of course, we'll look at Zesco United as well. But for now, I think let's look at the transfer rumors. I'm glad I have Augustine, who's very passionate and follows Red Arrows in and out. Let's look at the player transfers and the rumors that are going around the club. Of course, we know you've acquired one nice player that you should be able to give us the news about. And now, the two stories that I'm hearing, Trezor Shiwawa and Alassana Diarra, if at all that could happen, that is true, they are leaving the club. How prepared are we to defend our status as Zambia at continental football with Red Arrows representing the country?
It's going to be very, very tough. I think we've been together in stadiums where we've seen Trezor Shiwawa being the difference for Red Arrows, or Alassane Diarra being the guy that turns on the attack. He makes things happen for Arrows. And the confirmed news is that Trezor Shiwawa has signed for Sekekume United on a 3-year deal. Yeah, it was a very, very attractive offer for both the player and the club. And
he snapped TP.
Yeah, it was seen as good business for both sides, for the player and for both Red Arrows Football Club and Trezor Shiwawa, Red Arrows Player of the Season. Probably the Player of the Season in the league has moved to Sekekume United. You would have thought probably would have gone to a very high-profile club. When we saw his performance from last season, he was very, very top-notch. And having in mind that Red Arrows are going to play in the Champions League, probably you would have thought he would have been tempted to play Champions League football so that he gets the much-needed exposure and grow his CV. Alassane Diarra, there have been a couple of offers on the table, but from what I'm getting is that none of the offers that are on the table are interesting his representation and the club that he's come from. Because he's on loan from Cafe Celtic to Red Arrows, they see him as one of their valuable assets and they think they can sell him probably to a higher club than the offers that they have currently at the table. Information that I'm getting is that Alassane Diarra may just stay on for one more season at Red Arrows and play Champions League football. It will help his CV grow. It will help the player get more exposed as he goes to a new chapter in his football career. Another player who has been linked with a move away from the football club is top scorer Ricky Banda. He's on loan again from Jumulo FC, so it's not in Red Arrow's hands. It's in the hands of Jumulo. Red Arrow, starting from mid last season, they were negotiating to try and make the move permanent. It didn't work out. This time around, they go again. They'll sit on a round table with Jumulo, try and discuss the way forward with Ricky Banda. He was an unknown quantity coming into the start of last season, but Red Arrows gave him a platform. He excelled. He did very well. Won the top scorers award. Probably Ricky Banda, they will try and hold on to Ricky Banda. There are a couple of offers from Europe and South Africa. It remains to be seen if it will tempt Jumulo or not to selling the player to another club. Coming innings from Red Arrows, Albert Kangwanda, very, very impressive last season with Cafe Celtic. Brilliant. Albert Kangwanda came in last season. He had a very, very poor outing at Zanaco, if you remember. And this season, last season, when Celtic got promoted, he went back to his parent club, did very well, scoring about 14 goals in the league, but it wasn't enough to keep them up in the league. He's the player who has been part of the national team. Michu gave him his debut, and Thomas Zulu, probably one of the best holding midfielders from last season. And Red Arrows have gone in and snatched Thomas Zulu to try and fill that midfield gap that was probably left by Pokatema when he left for Azam.
And they preparing for the departure of one Alassane Diarra.
Alassane Diarra will stay put for now. Kefas Handavu left Red Arrows as a striker. He's come back as a fullback now from Indeni. That transfer seems to be done. Red Arrows are looking to strengthen in central defense. There are negotiations that are taking place. A couple of interesting high-profile defenders are being linked to Red Arrows Football Club, and if the transfers go very well, Red Arrows might announce a very, very big signing in central defense in the coming weeks. There's been rumor of Peter Chikola Red Arrows being interested in Peter Chikola, but what you get now is that Peter Chikola, he might be headed for Europe. There's a side in Croatia where Peter Chikola might go and join. If that move does not materialize, probably Peter Chikola will also be the third Cafe Celtic player to join Red Arrows. That's what my sources tell me. If it doesn't work, Peter Chikola going to Europe, he will join Red Arrows. He was one of the most promising young lads in last season. I think to me you saw how he tormented Power Dynamos at Edwin Imbuela Stadium when they came to play Cafe Celtic. They call him Evra. It's interesting to see how Red Arrows will do their business in this transfer market, but they're very, very smart. They're very, very cautious in who they want to bring in, and it has to fit their bill and their budget going forward.
Let's shift our attention now to another team that is probably doing the best they can in terms of the transfers. We have seen one international goalkeeper, Sirio Mwenya Chiwe, our very own, that was released in South Africa and now is back on the home soil playing his trade. He signed a 2-year contract with One Zesco United Football Club.
Mr. Andrew's favorite player.
Wow, I was actually coming to Andrew.
In fact, that would be very good. It would be a plus to Zesco. Yeah, it would be a plus to Zesco, looking at how they have been struggling. Zesco has been really struggling this season, these two seasons.
But when you look at Ian, the caliber of Ian and Sirio,
yeah, of course.
Is he going to be given a chance when you look at how Ian Uteno has been performing and very outstanding guy in goals?
It's a 50-50 thing. It's a 50-50 thing. The fact that probably exposure also matters. Looking at Chiwe coming from the other side where he's more exposed, I think the Zesco administration, they believe that probably he can make a bit of some advances and changes to the club, even to tighten it more. Because I think Zesco have been having more challenges, struggling, especially when it comes also to conceding. So I believe that's the reason why probably they are trying to come up and add on the defense side.
From what we are getting from Zesco United with regards the the signing of Mwenyachiwe is that they're trying to work on the quota system, because you remember they implemented that at the football club, and what they are seeing now is an international goalkeeper in Mwenyachiwe with a lot of experience playing in a PSL to come in as a Zambian to try and fill the gaps of Ian Otieno, so that they can probably strengthen in other areas to bring a foreign player, probably a foreign striker who can help ZESCO United go forward. That's the thinking of the football club. Information as of today is that Kelvin Kapumbu is headed for ZESCO United. 2-year deals on the table, probably might be announced in the coming
because of Dixon
days.
Chapa's departure.
Dixon Chapa returns to NAPSA Stars, so he has left a very, very big hole in that central row. Chipio Kasonga is one exciting young lad from expected to be joining ZESCO United as well in this transfer market. You can see what ZESCO United are trying to do. They're trying to be smart in their transfers, try and get the players in early. They have got Lodrick Kembo, did very well for Buildicon last season, one of the best defenders in the league. It's rumored that ZESCO United are closing in on that deal, and Lodrick Kembo might just be joining ZESCO United. What Numba Mamba is trying to do is he's trying to try and get all the players ready and in on time, so that they have a full preseason together as a team. ZESCO United, Power Dynamos, like you have earlier mentioned, they have signed Owen Tembo, one of the best midfielders again in last season. He was holding Concord Blades together with Willard Mwanza. Willard Mwanza was being rumored to probably maybe join Power Dynamos last season. It didn't happen. It has happened now. He's going to solve their goalkeeping problems. Because you remember they brought in Sebastian Mwange, thought he was the guy that would try and solve those problems. It hasn't happened. Jackson Kakunta is on loan from Red Arrows, and this loan is coming to an end. Is it in August? So they needed someone to come in to try and give competition to young Rollins Mulenga, who did very well towards the end of last season. And Ghana, we haven't heard much at Ghana, the ins and outs. Probably Giro Chimweme is one who interests me the most. His deal is coming to an end, and Ghana Football Club, he was being linked with moves away from the football club. We will wait to see what happens in the coming weeks, if he will stay at Ghana or not. Ghana being rumored to be two championship players who are being linked with moves to Ghana. Very, very interesting to see how that happens. It's going to be an interesting season, because teams have already started preparing for next season and looking to strengthen as well.
Very quickly, Augustine, let's look at the resurrection of Lazarus Kambole's career at Yanga Africans, the champions of Tanzania. They have lured the signature of one Lazarus Kambole, who had contributed probably very, very neutral to Kaizer Chiefs in South Africa. Now, as a free agent, he has joined Young Africans of Tanzania.
Yeah, it's the time and chance for Lazarus Kambole to resurrect his career. He went to Kaizer Chiefs and he was lost in the wilderness. 52 games was it, he only managed to score 2 goals, which is not a very, very good return. 1.5.
Then you round it off to 2.
Which was not very, very good for a player who holds the record of the quickest hat-trick in Champions League football, when he scored that amazing hat-trick for ZESCO United against was in Bavane Swallows in Swaziland. You could see the fall from grace from Lazarus Kambole. Ever since he moved to Kaizer Chiefs, nothing has happened for him. Now he's going to Yanga. He's going to be given an opportunity to be the main man and try and take Yanga to the next level. Because remember, Yanga did very well last season. They won.
Of course.
They won. Is it the league and the
Actually,
cup?
they signed him on the day when they were, I think,
They were being crowned champions. Yeah? So you can see now these guys believe that this guy can be part of this wonderful project at Yanga. They believe in Lazarus Kambole. He needs to go there and get the job done. He's not past his best. He's still a young player. He just needs to rediscover himself and get the job done at Yanga.
Well, very quickly, gentlemen, let's look at our very own Camnet Stars before we go to, probably let's look at the European transfers before we come to our own Camnet Stars. Let's look at what's been happening in Europe. We've seen the movement of Sadio Mane leaving Liverpool and heading into Germany for the German giants, Bayern Munich.
Very, very interesting. It was breaking news yesterday around 12. Sadio Mane will be closing in a move to German champions Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich see Sadio Mane as a direct replacement for Robert Lewandowski, who wants to leave the German champions, probably for Barcelona or maybe any other club, but his heart is to move to Barcelona. Liverpool had known about Sadio Mane's situation, and they knew that he wouldn't renew his contract, and they were very, very smart in how they did their business. They went in and brought in Luis Diaz last season, mid-season through the season. And then they've brought in Darwin Nunez, now a very, very promising young striker, to try and fill the gaps that will be left by Sadio Mane. It's going to be a very, very good move for Sadio himself in terms of finances. He wasn't being paid a lot of money at Liverpool. He's probably going to double that when he goes to the Bavarians in Bayern Munich. On the other side, champions of England, Manchester City strengthened with Erling Haaland. That's a beast of a striker. He's coming to torment defenders in the Premier League. Your favorite defender, Harry Maguire, is in big trouble to try and play against Erling Haaland. You see Arsenal, they have been rumored to be closing.
And imagine, no one is looking for Harry Maguire.
Imagine, I think Nkana should do something.
No, I think Great Arrows can. They can replace Chihuahua with Harry Maguire. It would be a good move.
We'll do just that to bring Harry Maguire to the Zambian Super League. So, you've seen big teams like City have strengthened. They're bloating Erling Haaland. We haven't heard much from Chelsea. They have been chasing Koundé, the Sevilla defender. Manchester United, they're always being linked, and with every player who has got two legs, there is being linked with Manchester United. But Manchester United can't sign anyone at the moment, and Tottenham have done their business. They've brought in Ivan Perisic from Inter Milan. He's the kind of player that Antonio Conte likes, because Antonio Conte likes to play on a counter, and Ivan Perisic is just the kind of player. He worked with him at Inter Milan. He's brought him to the Premier League. They have been rumored to be closing in on Enoch Mepo's teammate, Yves Bissouma at Brighton. If they can bring Yves Bissouma,
I think it was confirmed last night.
It's been confirmed.
Yeah,
he's one.
That simply means that our very own Emmanuel Mepo stands a very huge chance to play in and out of every game at Brighton if that move.
But the partnership with Yves Bissouma was very, very nice. Yeah, I think to me it was one of the best. Yeah, because they understood each other very well. Enoch Mwepu would do the attacking side of the game, and Yves Bissouma would do the defensive side, and Brighton thrived. And okay, Graham Potter is a very, very intelligent manager who will work his way around Enoch Mwepu. If Bissouma going to Tottenham, it just makes them even more stronger, because Antonio Conte is bringing in players who can play his way of football. It's interesting to see how this transfer market will end in the.
We are hoping that Manchester United. I'm very shocked that he's Manchester, and now we haven't signed anyone. So that means
No. Ten Hag doesn't sign players anyhow. He's busy working underground.
But there are rumors that
we will actually shock you.
His first priority is De Jong, but it's just taking too long, that signing. I probably feel he should go with Julian Timber, try and sort out the defensive side of things. Maybe before you wait for De Jong transfer to work. But according to what I've heard from Manchester United, the first priority is the central midfielder, who is De Jong. Second priority is Anthony, the winger. Then Timber comes in as the third priority, because Manchester United have got a lot of numbers in that central defense. Numbers of players who cannot even play. They can't play. Bailey is always injured.
Yeah.
Phil Jones is always injured. We just wait to see what happens for United.
We wait to see what happens in the transfer market, as Manchester United is quietly watching what is happening across the world when it comes to transfer.
Closing in a move to Juventus.
Well, that has been very, very well known from the very beginning. But now we are focusing as Manchester United on a game against Liverpool. I think it will be on the 7th of July. 6th or 7th of July, we have a friendly against Liverpool as Man United, and we are hoping to see the new players busy gelling up with the rest of the team as they continue to prepare for the coming season. Gentlemen, your last remarks before I conclude with Camnet Stars.
Yeah, I think thank you very much to all the viewers that tuned in. It's been an amazing show. We'd like to thank the entire production team for making this possible. We'll meet again next week.
Thank you very
Andrew.
much. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here, and it has always been a pleasure.
Great. All said and done. All transfers discussed. Now we shift our focus to Camnet Stars, the champions of the Zone 4. FAS organized their Zone 4 leagues, will be leaving to the United States of America, I think, in the first week of July. And all those well-wishers who are willing to come in and support and partner with us with regards to the purchasing of the soccer boots of the young lads who are the champions of that actual zone can still continue to come in through. And please feel free to call us on those lines and just give us your contributions towards the purchase of the boots and the welfare of the boys as they head to America to make this country proud. To the sponsors of the team, Pastor Moses and Victoria Chiruba, we say thank you so much for the opportunity that you've given the lads out there, showcasing their talents and wishing them nothing but the best as they head to the United States of America for that tournament. From me, Rabson, who's been your host this morning, it's time to sign off. See you next weekend. Have a blessed weekend. Thank you.